Live. Let's go live. Oh, shucks. Oh, I don't want to drop my eagle. My eagle is important. All right. The eagle is important to me. I like my eagle. Welcome to TikTok Live. Let me read that disclaimer. Welcome to TikTok Live. You will not be censored unless you say something. Then we have the right to censor everything you say. Most of your viewers' comments, including, hey, big and corn-fed, how are you, will be censored. Why? Because our algorithms are completely fucking batshit crazy and we don't know how they work yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to censor every goddamn thing we can think of, including, how was your pizza? Because that could be code for something nefarious. Oh, there we go. Jay Lynn just got censored. He said, what's up, Martin? Got censored. Congratulations. It's like almost like a badge of courage. Yeah, you got censored on TikTok, which means you told the truth. Yeah, that's what happens. See? Now, Larry Keating, who's a client of mine, he got to say hello, Martin, without getting censored. You know why? Because he's a client of mine. And my clients have pull. Okay, maybe that's a bit of hyperbole there. It's telling me to invite lots and lots of people to join my live as a guest. I've never done that. I don't know why you would do that. Hey, look at that. Ray out there in Texas. Hello. You didn't get censored for saying that, shockingly. All right, let's turn this on. Boom. All right. What's hyperbole? It is a hyperbolic statement is one that is just completely over the top, unbelievable. Just look up Kamala Harris. By the way, that was really awkward at her rally. Did you see that today? Maybe that was yesterday. It all blends together. And yesterday I was gone off planet Earth. I was making a run for silver. And so I was pretty much completely out of contact because I drove from 7 a.m. until 2 a.m. the next morning. That's pretty wiped this morning when I got up at the crack of 10. But still got a lot of work done. Very happy. Today was a good day. Not only just for me, but for everybody that's in precious metals. What's happening there, Bacon Dude? Like when Trump said they closed the airports in the Revolutionary War. You know, I think that might have been an accident. Yes, you should be getting a lot of silver now. As a matter of fact, listen to this. I'm going to turn this up nice and loud so you can hear it. Wow. Awkward much? Say things that nobody responds to much? Go off script much? She sent Joe Rogan a list of demands and he told her no. Well, what he didn't actually just say no. What he said was, I really think it would be better if you came into the studio for, as much time as you can afford, just so I can get to know you better as a person. Like if it's a scripted over the phone 1 hour thing, it's going to be basically like every other interview. And I don't want it to be like that. I want, my people come in here for a long time so we can really talk about stuff. And he said, I'm not opposed to Kamala. I just want to talk to her. I want to get to know her as a person. Now, of course, that is the worst possible scenario for her because nobody gets to know Kamala as a person because everything I've seen so far, including Judge Joe Brown, who spoke about how she got to where she is. Oh my God. I mean, it's absolutely Stunning, some of the shit that went on behind the scenes with First Pacific Bank and Steve Mnuchin, and how they just completely they broke. I mean, they had 5,200 counts against them. She ran for attorney general, and as attorney general, with Soros money behind her, she literally and the bank's money behind her, she literally condensed all those charges into one charge and dismissed it. And then Soros turned around and sold that very bank for $3.4 billion, and then dumped a huge amount of money into her Senate race. And she did plagiarize 2 books, actually. 2 of her books have plagiarism in them, where she just took entire scenes, entire pages from other books and just transposed them straight over. In one, I think she took an entire page, but she changed, I believe it was one word. Look, this, this is classic Joe Biden. Joe Biden did the same thing. He lifted an entire silver coins. Yes, buy a bunch now. I just delivered thousands of them today. That's why I was not on here last night. I went and picked up several thousand silver coins and delivered them today. About this. By the way, for those of you who don't know TikToker 2006, that's when TikToker 2006 was born. This is why I believe Generation Z might be okay. Number one, they are the most cynical generation in history. That's a fact, because they were raised on the internet with deep fakes and all that bullshit. They don't believe anything unless they have absolute rock hard proof. And that is very cool, because in this day and age, if you want to survive in this world, you better do your math. You better do your homework on everything, and they do. So, yeah, they may not be allowed to wrestle in school or get dirty or play the way we used to play when we were kids, which I think is terrible for them. But the reality is that at least their brains are intact. And as a matter of fact, several studies have shown that playing video games is actually extremely good for kids, because in these games, especially the first person shooter games where they're shooting zombies and stuff, they make thousands of decisions per minute, and they have to make them all correct. Let's see. Is it true that TikTok is supposed to be banned in January of 2025? Yeah, it's just a rumor. It's been banned now for 2 years, according to Congress. Some of the people don't even know how to hammer a nail these days. Well, that's the thing. That's part of that is our fault. We let the powers that be take away metal shop and wood shop and architecture and all of the things that kids should be exposed to. If for no other reason than if they decide they don't want to go to college, which of course we sold them a total bag of bullshit on that one. We literally told them, if you don't go to college, you'll never get a job. No. Somebody's giving TikToker 2006 a hard time. How about you get back to George Washington capturing the airports? All right, let's just see exactly what happened there, because that was something that everybody misspeaks once in a while. Everybody says shit they wish they could take back. I think that was like 6 or 8 years ago. But if that's the only reason that you're not going to vote for Trump, let's find out just how true that is. Because, again, if that's the one reason, if you don't care about the fact that he put trade tariffs on China because they were stealing our technology, if you don't care about the fact that he actually got North Korea to calm the fuck down and stop shooting missiles over Japan by going over there and meeting with them, if you don't care about any of that stuff, if you don't care about the fact that there were no wars started on his watch, if this is the only thing that matters to you is whether or not he misspoke about the Revolutionary War, let's see. Did Trump say the airports were shut down during the revolution, because this is really, really important to one TikToker. It's the most important thing. Let's see. President Trump blamed a faulty teleprompter for a moment in his Salute to America speech where he claimed the Continental Army took over airports. Okay, well, that could be true. He could have said that. So I guess we should vote for the most fake candidate in the history of the United States government. That's a great idea. Sure glad I've never said something that I went, wait, that didn't make any sense. And I'm sure you haven't either, because, well, clearly, if you're voting for Kamala Harris, you have no faults. You're perfect in every way. And you like your lattes at exactly 116 degrees. Soy milk, of course. Always someone else's fault. I don't even know what that means. Actually, Trump knows a lot about our history. Well, he did fairly well when he went to military school. Man wants to Texas go up. I think your syntax is a little off there, big boy. The USA needs to hire at least 2 million boots. 2 million boots. Not really sure what that means. Okay. But I'm sure you knew what it meant when you typed it. Let's see. Trump all the way. Soldiers. 2 million soldiers. The vice president wants the taxes to go up. Do you think JD Vance has good potential to run for president in 2028, even if Trump wins? Yes, absolutely. Have you spoke about silver yet? No, but it obviously kicked ass again today. It went up. And let's see. I'm not sure if we've got an all-time high again in gold, or if it's just bouncing around kind of close. Let us find out. Let's go to futures. Let's go to gold. Holy Nikes. Really? It's at almost $2,800. Ooh, $2,792, baby. We are pushing right up to the edge. Okay, so let's go to all time. Yeah. Oh, wow. Shit. It's way higher than it's ever been. I thought maybe back in 2011, but no, not even close. Shit, it hit 1,800. That's not even close to where it is now. It's almost at $2,800 an ounce. This is, well, Florida. I'm glad you're still with us. Glad you're not in the Caribbean now. Bitcoin and Doge are going to go up. Yeah, I believe that. It's never Trump's fault. It's always someone else's. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, because he never takes responsibility for anything he does. So you should vote for Kamala Harris. What's going to happen when Trump pulls the migrant credit cards and free stuff? A lot of them are going to go home. They're going to go home on purpose. They're not going to wait around to be sent home. They're just going to say, fuck it, this free ride's over. I'm out of here. Look, if you had a country that you could just walk to and get free stuff, there's a lot of people in this country that are poor that would go, yeah, what the hell, why not? And if you knew that in California you could steal up to $1,000 worth of merchandise from any store you wanted and nobody would touch you because they were afraid they'd get sued if you got hurt, why wouldn't you? Biden didn't win in 2020. LOL. Lone survivor? You got censored. Nobody could see that except me, but I read it out loud anyway, because I do that. Even if they think what you say should be censored, I don't think anybody should be censored. Because let's face it, I get it. 16% of the total population has an IQ of less than 85. That's a lot of people. That's about 51 million people that have an IQ under 85, and they will buy the silliest shit you ever sold them. However, for those of us whose IQ is over 85, and I believe mine's probably close, I'm probably pushing 87 at this point. So, I can figure out what's fact and what's fiction. And look, I remember during the vid when everybody was saying, "Oh my God, you got to watch out all these freighters that are stacking up off the coast." It's not because of COVID. It's because the Chinese have every one of those freighters full of troops, and they're going to invade the United States. And I thought, wow, that's an interesting theorem. If you put, say, 100 guys in each one of those containers, where would they poop? And what would they eat or drink for the 2 months they sat offshore? That's a lot of food and water and poop. Where to learn about getting silver? From me, Tracy. Call me. My number's in my bio. Send me a text tomorrow. I'll educate you. They're eating the cats and dogs, fact or fiction? Well, I do believe that it's a fact. I mean, why wouldn't it be? But look, there are no animals in any of the zoos in Venezuela. Period. None. These people have been pushed to the brink of starvation as an entire nation. If they came here and they simply wanted to save as much money as they possibly could, a cat and a dog are no different than a quail or a rabbit to them. And it's not because they're not human. It's not because they're not civilized. It's because they come from an insanely poor nation where everything is food. So why not? Well, Haiti is one of the poorest nations on the planet. Oh, did this occur in Springfield, Ohio? Well, we know that it occurred around Springfield. There was a lot of controversy when he said, oh, the cats and dogs, and people just totally went crazy over Trump saying that. But the reality is that there are videos of people who are eating cats and dogs, and they're not the Amish. So president speaks 80% go voluntarily, round rest up. Okay. Yeah, I suppose if you knew that if you got caught, you'd go to jail on your way out of the country, and it would be a bad situation, you might want to leave voluntarily. Wow. My boss says Harris made everyone happy because she makes folks happy with her laugh. You mean cackle? Let's see. What's up with the repo story on Zero Hedge? I'm going to have to look. Did one by percentage? I did well with 10-ounce cast poured bars. Okay. Yeah, I mean, 10 ounces is just a lot. That's all. If it goes to 125, those are worth a lot of money. A lot of people won't be able to buy them. I want stuff that anybody can buy. She's laughing at me. Yes, I imagine she probably is. I'm one of those suckers that joined the Marine Corps to fight for his country because I believed in the government and I believed in the country and I wanted to be a part of it. Yeah, I'm one of those idiot idealist commoners. Not just cats and dogs, rats too. Well, I mean, look, when people show this shock over immigrants eating rats, you have to understand something. I grew up in Hollywood and Beverly Hills. Do you know what we did to squirrels out there? We fucking named them. We gave them names. We got them to the point where we could feed them out of our hands because they were so damn cute. We didn't eat fucking squirrels. Half the country eats squirrels. I mean, literally, I was watching one of my favorite UFC fighters, and he was talking about going squirrel hunting. And they were like, what are you going to do with the squirrels? He goes, well, what do you think I'm going to do with them? I'm being silly. I'm going to eat them. And I thought, eating squirrels? But then, have I eaten rabbit? Yeah. Have I eaten snake? Yeah. Rattlesnake? Have I eaten alligator? Yeah. Buffalo? Elk? I mean, I've eaten a whole lot of stuff. So the reality is that, when we act so shocked that people from an incredibly poor country would come here and eat all of the animals running around that would just walk up to them, it's not actually that crazy. Yeah. Oh, possum. I've never eaten possum, but, and then, of course, there's armadillo, which is possum on a half shell. What do we got here? Does crocodile taste like chicken? Yes, actually, it does, really. I mean, I hate to say that because everything's supposed to taste like chicken. Yes, TikToker. By the way, you got censored for that? I'm reading it, but nobody else can see that. What the hell? Why would they censor that? I'm gullible. Oh, you'd be surprised. Eating ducks and bird. They sent some migratory lady there to investigate. Well, yeah, eating ducks. Really? Duck is a delicacy in the United States. People eat ducks and chickens and turkeys and doves. Probably pigeons too, I imagine. I mean, hell, we eat quail. I've eaten lots of quail in my life. Don't name your food. Let's see, squirrel dumplings. Travis, you could have just totally left that out there, buddy. Duck is too greasy. It is greasy. It's very greasy. And you know what? The way that they stuff the ducks in order to make them, that's just, I mean, that's abusive as hell. I wouldn't. Eating crow. Oh, believe me, I've eaten a lot of crow. I just, not the bird. It was more of a philosophical crow eating. You know, I believe that humility comes from humiliation. They sound a lot alike, and I see why. No pigeons yet. Well, that's because pigeons are smarter than we think. They don't fuck around, man. Pigeons are like, yeah, I'll let you feed me in the park, but anywhere else, I'm camouflaging. I always thought Canadians were being bizarre by eating beaver tail, but isn't that? But it isn't what I thought. I think a lot of men have eaten beaver. Sure duck from Park Ponds. Silver peak thoughts. Silver will peak, but not until it gets over 100 for sure. I'm just saying most people don't just walk up to a pond and start killing ducks. A turducken. Chuck, they censored that. Coins are your coins high quality? Yeah, absolutely. They're the best. They're the same thing everybody else is selling. I'm a wholesaler for all the big retail guys like AppMex, JM Bullion. So literally same stuff. Should we stack American Eagles? No, they're too expensive, and you can't sell them for what you buy them for. You know that old saying, you get what you pay for. Well, with American Eagles, I don't buy that, and the only reason I say that is because I've seen it too many times. People pay $5, $6, $7 premiums on Eagles, and then we go to sell them. You go to gold exchange or silver exchange, and they go, yeah, okay, well, here's spot plus $1. And they're like, well, I thought I was going to get more than. No, you're not. They could, let's see, bring down Canadian goose population. Yeah, they could. Their beaver tail is a vegetarian dessert. It's just called beaver tail. Oh, I did not know that. They say Minette is delicious. I don't even know what that is. Do I ship? Yes, I do. And I don't charge for shipping. And if you buy more than about 10,000 ounces, I will bring it to you. Let's see. Some beaver taste better than others. Yes, absolutely. It depends on the diet, really. But let's see here. I'm just scrolling through looking for comments. Invitation sent. I didn't invite. What did I do? Huh. I bought silver off of Martin and had no problems. Well, thanks for saying that. E. Armstrong. Don't worry, I won't. If I remember, if I know who you are, I won't say. Everybody in New York, he loves beaver slickers. I don't even know what that is. Post-election economic forecast in both scenarios. Ooh. Read on Israel and Iran situation. And by the way, that I will talk about that when I talk about post-election. Minimum purchase, 100 ounces. So spot price times 100 is still, is silver still cheap? Very, very cheap compared to what it should be right now. Alpha-gal syndrome is limited on meat. Oh, I know what that is. I bought 100 silver cards. Love those silver cards, man. I just wish they weren't so damn expensive. Go on eBay and see what I charged you and see what they're going for. It's an insane difference, And the thing is, I get it. If you said, hey, look, I'm going to buy 10,000 of them, and I know that the company that makes them charges a ridiculous amount over spot, but I also see that they're going for $40 or $50 right now on eBay. Then I'm gonna sell half of them. on eBay for 10, 15, $20 over spot because people are paying it. It's a lot of work, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely something you could make quite a bit of money at. Lickman predicts Kamala. You know what? The problem that I've got with that is that even even if Trump gets 85 million votes, and it's clearly a popular victory, and he's, by the way, closer to a popular vote victory than any other Republican in the last 30 years. He is within the margin of error of beating her in the popular vote. So we're talking about literally a 1% lead, according to Ipsos, for Kamala Harris in the popular vote. That's not much. That's a tiny, tiny percentage. Hillary was beating him by 6 points, and he smoked her. Silver is up 42% year to date. Year to date. Huh. Well, I'm showing 34, but you know what? They all vary depending on bid and ask, etc. So, either one, 34% still is kicking ass and 44% is kicking ass. Over the last 5 years, it's up just about 90%. Look, for the safest asset you can possibly buy, that is a fantastic return. Because remember, guys, we're doing it because of the safety. Newsom and Michelle are ready to rumble. Oh, I'll bet they are. The states already vote early. Stuff's coming up missing. Yep, there are fires. It's odd that it seems to be in like Portland and Seattle and these areas where ballot boxes are being lit on fire, full of ballots. I think that is something that if you get caught doing that, life in prison. Period. End of fucking story. If they actually capture somebody who has lit an entire ballot box full of ballots on fire, it should be a mandatory life sentence for those people, a federal offense where there is just no way out. You're going to prison. If you really think that you can just, throw a fucking Molotov cocktail into a ballot box and screw up the entire country's belief in an election, it is treason. It really is. In the truest sense of the word, if it's not treason, it's at least sedition, because treason technically can only happen during a time of war. You have to actually side with the declared enemy in order for it to be treason. However, sedition is anytime you undermine your current government. Whenever you are actively trying to undermine your government, that's sedition. And by the way, sedition is also a capital offense. Let's see. They want to make it a trend. That's why they show it. I don't know. Dodgers or Yankees? I don't really care at all about baseball. And I don't like either one of those cities anymore. So I'm going to go with Detroit, whatever the name of their baseball team is. Fires in Michigan vote. Oh, shit. That's bad. We are at war with evil, part of government. Now, remember, all government is bad, period. There's no such thing as a good government. There's only a government that is good enough that you can tolerate it. That's it. We should always, always be ready to go after our own government. Tigers. Okay. Yeah. Then that's who I want to win, because Detroit's had its ass whooped really bad for the last 20 years. The fact that the Detroit Lions are, I don't know if they're undefeated or what, but I saw, I don't watch football because I don't have time. I got better things to do with my day than sit around watching other sports, unless it's UFC. And that's only because I do it. If I didn't do MMA, I wouldn't watch MMA. But because I actually do it, I'm learning. I'm watching things happen and going, okay, ooh, I couldn't do that. Oh, I could do that. I think last time Detroit Tigers win was back in '84. Well, it was about the last time anybody moved into Detroit. Everybody's moved out since then. What makes you think they are better now? Who? Detroit? Oh, just because I see that a lot of tech companies are going in there. There was an offer on the table from the city government, the municipality, to give their train station, their version of Grand Central Station, to whoever would guarantee to restore it. That to me is, this is a probably a 400,000 or 500,000 square foot building. I mean, it's fucking enormous. And it's, 80-foot ceilings in the lobby. It's all marble and brass. It's beautiful. It was done in a Gothic style. I mean, it is an absolutely gorgeous building. Is on par with Grand Central Station or Penn Station. And they were willing to give it to anybody who was willing to just take care of it, give it away, including all the 50 acres around it. And I thought, these people deserve a break. I mean, fuck, man, this is a city in America. This is the United States of America. We can't just let these cities fall into disrepair like that just because big industry turns their back. Well, who's big industry? It's a bunch of rich, greedy assholes who don't care about us anyway. So don't let them make the decisions. The government says they will have a drill for civil unrest. Well, I imagine it'll turn into more than a drill if they try to cheat us again. And that's a fact, because I think there are a lot of people out there, good citizens, good, honest folks, who are tired of being lied to. So let's see what happens. But I don't want to see, the one thing I don't want to see in the beginning of November is a bunch of anomalies, anomalous issues. I'm plugging in my phone. There we go. It's charging. I just don't want to lose you guys. I love you that much. I don't want to lose you. Let's see. Is there anybody? I've got people on here. Outstanding. I got people on my live stream on YouTube. I do live stream on YouTube. Yeah, everybody's fed up with the lies. If Trump gets elected, precious metals will stagnate for a while. I don't think so, because here's the key to precious metals. There's a lot of different pressure points, but the majority of metals going up is because government is wasting money and spending it like they can just print it out of thin. Oh wait, they can print it out of thin air. Okay, well they're going to keep doing that. Trump's going to do it too. Trump's not talking about fiscal responsibility. He's not talking about choking off the supply of money to the federal government. Yeah, no kidding. The UK, my God, what's going on over there that's actually scary to me. I'm watching very carefully what's going on. And I can't even talk about it on TikTok. I talked about it on YouTube, my live stream on YouTube. When I end here, I go over there and tell the rest of the story, because you can't talk about it. BRICS, not even an issue anymore. BRICS just blew themselves up. Why are you going on your trip? Oh, when? Let's see. I'm leaving on the 3rd, and I'll be back here on the 10th. It's going to be a hell of a trip. I'm gonna try to live stream while I'm out there. Okay, what's up? Just tuned in. Which building were we speaking of in Detroit? Oh, their train station, their version of Grand Central Station. I do believe that a group of people in Detroit got it, and they are restoring it and turning it into a museum. I hope that works. What? Oh, you got censored when in doubt. Let's see. What would be consistent to what the House has done for 50 years? That would be consistent. Yeah. What do you mean BRICS blew up? Oh, you noticed that comment, huh? I'm hoping for Pierre, let's see, Poilievre, Trump, Canada, led government. That'd be nice. You still coming here on the 1st? No, 3rd. It was $1,000 more to fly 2 days earlier. I thought, I don't need to be there on the 1st. I can be there on the 3rd. Are you going to Missouri this week? Oh, you going, ain't you? Spoken like a true Missourian. Next week. Let's see. Trump wins. It's drill, baby, drill. The economy turns around. Yes, but not without spending a lot of money. BRICS is going nowhere. It's a pause until we go to unrest and Dems crash the dollar. No, it's not. I'll explain in a second. 3rd is Sunday. Yes, it is. Do you think BRICS blew up? Oh, yeah, absolutely. I can't believe that with all of their planning, with all of their due diligence, with all of the things that they were talking about, they decided last weekend that they would, no, I'm staying the fuck away from the Capitol on the 6th. That's a fact. Let's see. I don't want to end up in prison because I had a Trump shirt on or something. Not a true Missouri, but you got to show them. Let's see. So here's what BRICS decided to do. Now, we all know that the BRICS nations have been hoarding gold. We all know that the BRICS nations have a huge amount of strategic metals and rare earth metals. We also know that they have a huge amount of oil. Now, I was sure that they were going to say that all of these countries, like Venezuela and Brazil, which have enormous resources, were going to back the BRICS economy with their resources. It would be a resource-based form of currency, mostly in precious metals, in gold. They decided, in their infinite fucking wisdom, that they were going to make the BRICS currency out of a basket of all of their currencies put together. Now, all of those currencies put together, every one of those currencies in and of itself is a shit show. It's a basket case. So you now have a basket full of basket cases. What the fuck were you thinking, BRICS? That is the dumbest idea I've ever heard. You're going to back a world currency with a bunch of shitty currencies, and you expect that to challenge the dollar? They better go to a plan B soon. If they don't, then they are gone. What is BRICS? Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, but it's called the BRICS Plus now because Saudi Arabia was going to join until when? Yesterday, when they announced that they wanted to meet with Tony Blinken again. Now, why'd they do that? Because they're not going to join BRICS now. And anybody who does is in deep shit. They're all going to revalue. Oh, revalue. Oh, like these guys did right here. Like this right here, where they revalued. See, it's a $10 billion note from Zimbabwe. Yeah, they had to revalue too. And did it help them? No. Because once you revalue, you've admitted that you are a fool and you don't know how to balance your budget. The Branson area, I like Branson. Oh, just because it's where everybody goes to party. I've never been there, but I just like the theory of it. Uh-oh, somebody got censored. Let's see, backed up with worthless currency. You seem and sound interesting. Got to follow. Thank you. Yes, everybody follow. That helps a lot. That helps the algorithm. I have a feeling Dems have something up their sleeve. I'm really nervous. We're all really nervous. We're all really, really nervous because the reality is that the more I find out about Kamala Harris, not hearsay, not 90% of what I hear is bullshit. It's just crap. But the 10% that I know is true does worry me. It worries me a lot because it does not bode well for her. Silver dollars. God loves silver dollars, man. Yeah, I'm very, very concerned because if she takes over the government, you're talking about somebody who has been a part of some really, really shady business deals in California that got her to a point where she failed completely and miserably as a presidential candidate and then ended up as the presidential candidate. Initial steal by Dems and proves through. Well, that's going to be the hard part. If they win, it's done. Trump's policies will tank economy and cause hardship for working Americans. What? Yeah, that's why he backs him completely. That's an absolutely idiotic thing to say. Supposed to reevaluate at the same time. Not going to happen. Look, you can reevaluate all of them all you want, but it's just, look, man, when you've got a terrible currency and you decide to revalue your currency, you're admitting that you had a terrible currency. I can read about it where in the Washington Post. Let's see. Oh boy, everybody's getting censored now. And Trump doesn't concern you? Of course he does. You got censored for that, by the way. I don't believe in censorship, so I read it. When did Elon say this? I thought he was endorsing former President Trump. That's to you, user 2, blah, 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 the bot. Nasira will reset everything. No, it won't. Nasira is idiotic and it won't work. Look, BRICS is trying to do it right now. They're trying to come up with a world currency, and look how that's going. How long did it take for the euro to be put together, and how quickly is it falling apart? Yeah, Nasira is not a thing. Neither is Jisir or whatever the hell that name is. Something about a mattress. I don't know what that means, but what is your spot over percentage? Depends on what you're looking at. In Elon's tweets, for one, who depleted everybody's currency? Who depleted it? Every single central bank. He does endorse him. He just doesn't care if working class suffers. Well, now that's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. Come on, man. Seriously? Oh, thank you. 5,000 likes. I love it. Yeah, the likes definitely help. Let's see. Just got into buying silver. Drew, you better be buying it from me or you're paying too much. Six bankruptcy should scare you. Huge red flag for USA. Down, BRICS down means dollar goes up. No, because BRICS doesn't even exist yet. So, Elon fake news. I would imagine it is. I can't see that. I just can't imagine that Elon Musk said, "Oh, I just don't care about people." Really? I mean, come on. You can disparage a lot of people, but the one guy who's done more for the United States and the world than anyone else I can think of, that's crazy. Scott. Oh yeah, absolutely. I got a little special something for you, buddy. Can we talk about the 10,000 troops in North Korea? 10,000 North Korean troops in Russia, you mean? Yes. Okay. You clarified. Yeah, I mean, they're there. That's all I know. They're probably getting on the ground training right now, fighting Ukrainians so that when they go back, they can start a war with South Korea. That'd be my guess. That's going to be a huge, huge issue. That guy got his own plans to take over the world someday. What? I don't think so. Yeah, that just seems a little odd that people see somebody like Elon Musk and they think that he's evil. You think Musk wants to devalue the dollar? No. Be aware of those who bear gifts. Yeah, anybody who gives free stuff away, like, oh, I don't know, money to illegal immigrants and free housing, free cell phones, free money. Neuralink. And Neuralink, I think it's a genius idea. I wouldn't do it myself. Like, look, there are certain things you can try. Putting a chip in your head. Call me a troglodyte if you want, but I'm not ready for that. I'm just not ready for interfacing with AI yet. What do you think of Leonardo ECAT power system replacing crude oil? It could, but it won't be easy, and it won't be soon. Trojan horse. I don't think so. I don't think he's like, look, you just talk to the guy and see what his concerns are. And by the way, X does kind of prove a point. He literally exposed government corruption in Twitter. Let's see. 10,000. Oh, shit. That's awesome. Let's see. What was that? Well, there was one back here. Yeah, God knows we wouldn't want to be Christian. I don't even understand that comment. That makes no sense to me at all. 78% of the people in this country identify as Christians. So do they act like Christians? Well, I mean, Christians don't go to war for no reason. And by the way, the idea that we have to defend Israel at all costs, explain to me why. Somebody. Have you voted yet? No, that's tomorrow morning, baby. What do I think of what? God damn it. Fucking stand. I got to get a better stand. That's all there is to it. Wait. I think I might have it. Nope. What the hell is going? Oh, I see what's happening. It's slipping off the back of my desk. Ha! I'm back. What do I think about Trump's tariffs? I like them. What's martial law? I see it coming. Oh, well, I hope not. 12,000. Oh, thank you. Whoa, 13.6. Thank you. We got to sell more silver to buy. Yes. No shit. No, you know what, Lee? Honestly, I have another cell phone holder, and I bought it, and it ended up in the back seat. Now, if it's in the back seat, it's in the back of my mind. But I saw it the other day when I was getting something out of the back seat, so I grabbed it. But then I went around to the trunk, and I had a 40-pound bag of dog food, and I didn't want to fuck up the holder, the stand. So I put that down and picked up the 40-pound bag of dog food, shut the trunk, and came inside. So it's still in my trunk. Oh, but by the way, just in case you guys thought that I was a genius in all areas, no, 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 no. I am an intolerable idiot in some areas. Uh, Buying things at the store, that's one of those areas. Okay, Israel bought every politician, all the politicians, yes. Looks like you got your glasses from behind the bed, yes. Hold to that silver, yes, absolutely. No question about it. You know, I'm going to move all of these forward because that's the problem. That seems to be the issue right there. Silver forecast. I was saying 65. But now that the banks are no longer allowed to spoof the market and do naked shorts, I'm saying 100. Period. $100 soon. Will it be this year? Probably not, but it'll definitely be early next year. Biden just called Trump supporters garbage. I saw that. Yeah, you know, he probably thought he was referring to taking out the garbage because he thought he was at home. He doesn't want us to scratch his Corvette, you know, or trip over his top secret documents he left on the floor. Israel use the Samson option? Oh, yeah, you bet your ass they will. That's what's so terrifying about Israel is that there are a lot of Jews in Israel that are very, very normal people. They're just like you and I. And then there are the ultra Orthodox who believe that Israel does not exist. They actually don't even worry about following Israel's laws because they believe that the entire world is theirs. And if you want to read something terrifying, absolutely terrifying, other than the Quran, read the Talmud and see what it says about us, me being a Gentile. It's true. I actually went and did some studying, and what I found absolutely stunned me. Because you have to remember, I grew up in Hollywood and Beverly Hills. I've been to temple probably almost as much as I've been to church. I mean, I knew lots of Jewish kids growing up. A lot of my friends. Hell, half my girlfriends were Jewish. So, you know, I didn't think there's any difference whatsoever. But that's because they were Reformed Ashkenazi Jews, which are Ashkenazi Jews or Jews from Europe. And a lot of them are they're like a lot of Catholics. Yeah, they feel guilty about everything, but they do it anyway. You know, no, they're not going to eat bacon in temple, but they're going to eat bacon. You know, hey, look, if there's no heaven and there's no hell, why not eat a little bacon once in a while? Shalom. And that's the truth. I mean, the reality is that there are a lot of Jewish people who are just, you know, they're Jewish in name. And let's see, yes, but those adhering to Talmud haven't been converted. Converted to what? That's an odd thing to say. Not really sure what that means. Oh, gee, yeah. Oh no, that's the Talmud has some very spicy words about Jesus. They they don't they're not in that particular book. They're not real fond of him. What's happening, buddy? Let's see. Always believed in working your way up, but maybe there is a place for the new immigrants / help. Well, you know, I mean, the reality is this: they were brought here for a very specific reason: lower wages. So they're not going to take my job. I'm not worried about it. When I get angry about all of these immigrants coming here, I'm angry about the fact that they'll be voting here shortly. That bothers me. But the thing that bothers me the most is that they're not coming after my job. They're coming after the lowest wage paid people in the United States. That's whose jobs they're going to take. So the working class poor are going to get much, much more poor. People who were born in this country, who have every right to all of the beautiful things that we offer in this country, will not have those things. They're trying to let them vote now. Yes, they are. 1,100 U.S. military bases around the world. Yeah, that's a fact. AI will. Not sure what that means. Ooh, Coolio, you got censored. Let's see. Where can I find info on making companies who make silver shorts criminally liable? Hang on for a second. Yeah, I mean, you can just type that in, but that will definitely be. Let's see. When Trump gets in office, he's got a lot of work to do for 4 years. Yes, he does. And J.D. Vance may end up being the president of the United States in the first 90 days. And that would be a terrible loss. Not just because of who we would have to lose in order for that to happen, but for what it would mean for the United States. People aren't worried about immigrants that have white-collar jobs, but AI will soon take those. Well, that's a fact. He will be less easily distracted this time. If immigrants can law and military, could they be next weaponized law? Absolutely. Yeah, no question. That's one of the reasons they're working on a bill right now. Would you buy crypto? I worry about crypto because of all of the shenanigans with internet, with massive cyber attacks, and of course the grid going down. So when it comes right down to it, would I pick crypto or silver? I would pick silver. And has it made as much money? No. Is it the safest thing in the world because there's zero counterparty risk? Yeah, it is the safest thing in the world. Tell me, the technology going to take over healthcare in less than 20 years? Absolutely. Absolutely. AI right now is already better able to diagnose people remotely than doctors can. That's a fact. Hit 100K. Holy shit. That would be the first. That would be amazing. Silver, 100%. Look, here's the thing. Where's the counterparty risk? Like if you buy a house, there's counterparty risk. If you buy stocks, there's an enormous counterparty risk. Absolutely enormous counterparty risk, because you're not actually in the stock market per se. There's the stock market, which is controlled by AI and algorithms and massive, massive computer systems worth hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars. And then there's this little pool of secondary stocks, which get traded in and among the little stock traders. And they mirror what the big guys do, but they're not really part of it. So you eat last, always. That's just the way it works in the stock market. If I see that a stock is dropping precipitously, and I go, hey, get me out now, or I get in and hit, sell, that sell order won't get put in right away. There will be a lot of people, much, much larger clients that get it before I do. Why? Well, because I don't matter. Because in the stock market, you don't matter. You're just a minor player and nobody gives a shit about you. I bought at 17, now double. Yeah, absolutely. See, that's the beautiful part about silver. And is it going to go away? No. How high can it go in 5 years? In 5 years, I suspect that it will probably be well over 100. In 10 years, if Trump gets elected, I believe it'll probably still be in the 100 to 200 range. It's not going to go up that much faster. And the reason is there is no stock market. It's all rigged. Unfortunately, I agree with you. I do. And I'm coming from the standpoint of a stockbroker who was a certified financial advisor who literally swing trade stocks. You're right. I know that. And the reason I say, by the way, just so you know, the reason I say that that silver will go up a lot in the next 5 years and not as much in the next 5 years after that is because I believe that if you can spend your way out of this recession, and you can spend your way to prosperity, but you can't just spend your way to prosperity. You have to take other actions as well. So I'll give you an example. Let's say that we spent a lot of money, of tax money, tax dollars on oil exploration and development. Now, we want that money back at interest. If we're going to give it to big corporations like Standard or whoever, we want that money back. Yeah, it's going cray. That's right. But I'm not opposed to that, because the second highest input for any company is energy. Number one is labor. So if we can get to a point where we heat up the economy again without creating massive inflation by just going bananas with printing money, we print enough money to spend it in the correct places, then we get rid of all of the regulations that are unnecessary. And when I say unnecessary, I don't mean shit all over the environment. That's not what I mean. I don't mean turn your back on polar bears. You know, I don't know if you've ever seen a baby fur seal. They're fucking adorable. I do not want to hurt baby fur seals. I don't know how good they taste. That might change my opinion slightly, but they're still really cute. They need to quit dipping into our Social Security benefits. Your Social Security benefits are gone. Half of Ukraine has been sold to U.S. corporations. I would say that's very conservative. It's probably quite a bit more than that. Elon Musk could step in. He has made it very clear that he's interested in being the sort of cutting czar, if you will, where he goes in and analyzes with his very sharp senses which parts of these federal agencies are just completely bullshit. And believe me, there are enormous, vast swaths of these agencies which only exist to make sure they continue to exist. What? Well, power wants to stay in power. So how do you do that? Well, you create a huge amount of burden that somebody has to oversee, and then you create an enormous amount of people to oversee it. No, that's absolutely true. The U.S. military does work for U.S. corporations now. The CIA always has. The CIA has always been run by a good old boy club of very wealthy attorneys and private equity guys, all the way back to the 40s when it was first at its inception. It was a bunch of rich Wall Street guys who wanted to protect their own interests. If you go all the way back to the 1800s, to the banana wars, to the wars in places like China, what the fuck were we doing there? What were we doing? Well, if you ask Smedley Butler, one of the first people to win 2 Medals of Honor, who became the commandant of the Marine Corps, he wrote a book after he retired called War is a Racket. And he said he was only there, as were all of my Marines, to defend corporate profits, because these stupid fucking peasants kept rising up and asking for a fair wage. What? Are you shitting me? Do you not realize? You're Guatemalan. Fuck you. Oh, you're El Salvadorian. You don't get a fair wage. CIA puts the state in deep state. Kyle, you got censored for saying that. I read it for you though, but yeah, I mean that's the reality. The reality is that people don't understand just how incredibly destructive the Central Intelligence Agency is. It's a bunch of spies. Well, what do spies do for a living? How do they make their bread and butter? Lying. That's what they do. Deception. We have an entire part of our government, a huge part of our government, 17 intelligence agencies. And do they just gather intelligence? No. They gather intelligence and they deceive. And who are they deceiving? Everybody, including us. Drain the swamp. I even tried to misspell it. Fake news. Yeah, fake news is a big part of it. All 3-letter agencies are bad. Well, I mean, the majority of them are. Some of them were some of them were designed for the right reasons. Social Security is gone. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Are you referring to the ruling party? No, I'm referring to all parties. As a matter of fact, let's look at something real quick. You ask about Social Security being gone. It's not just gone. Okay, gone would be zero. Like we have a zero balance. What we owe and what we have zero each other out. For Social Security right now, they're considered an unfunded liability, not a debt, which is exactly the same term. But here's where we're at. We are upside down in the Social Security books to the tune of 27,328,000,000,000. Is alcohol is legal, tobacco legal, firearms legal. Why do we need the ATF? Great question. What do you mean Social Security is gone? That's my only income. They censored you for saying that, Yankee John. Why? What I mean that as long as there are taxpayers who continue to pay in and they take part of our tax money instead of your Social Security fund, which is supposed to be set aside, not touched. Remember, that's what Congress promised us. Well, they immediately turned around and spent it. So now Social Security no longer has a surplus of money for elderly people. It now has a $27 trillion deficit, which means that the money that you receive comes directly out of my taxes. It's not from the Social Security fund. And if not enough people are born, if not enough people work, if not enough people contribute to taxes, or if interest on taxes, which I said the other night was $880 billion, it's not. It's 1.1 trillion now. That's how fast it's going up. It's going up like it's crazy. It's absolutely shocking how fast that debt is going up. Hold on, they need me to verify that I am me, and they need me to do it by moving a little puzzle piece, and bingo. Okay. Silver. Yeah, that's why I tell people buy silver. Because if you think you're going to retire 20 years from now, that's ludicrous. It's absolutely ludicrous. I mean, what happens when we can't pay the interest? So you think that the Defense Department's going to give up part of their pie? Not a chance. How can we stop the government from taking for Social Security that I'll probably never get? Vote. Let's see. You have itinerary yet for your road trip? I'm leaving on the 3rd. I know that, and I'll be there on the 3rd. So I'll probably be around your area by the 4th. Say Peter to pay Paul. That's exactly right. Well, according to a lot of people, economists, we will be broke by 2032. We won't be able to pay out anymore. So if you're on Social Security now, I say you start smoking a lot. And by the way, drink scotch, lots of scotch. Apparently scotch and cigarette smoking together, that'll sort of quicken things up. I'm still interested in silver. Outstanding. Send me a text tomorrow for sure. How can we responsible for deficit if we're never received an itemized bill? Well, that's a good question. It's a very good question. Right now, I can't afford silver. I'm buying lead and brass. I see what you're saying. I got you. That's not a bad investment. Do you think currency is going to become increasingly digital in the future? Yes, if Kamala Harris wins, I guarantee you we'll be on a digital currency and you will have a digital ID probably by the end of next year. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a Republican, but I don't have any choice. If they'd given me a choice, if they'd given me a good conservative, if there had been a Ron Paul in the mix, absolutely. Any news of what we talked about today? I'll probably know by tomorrow. I'm trying to sort of marshal all my resources at this point. It's getting a little bit thin. We're lucky because there are some people who bought at 10, 12, 14, and they're seeing the numbers and they're just like, oh my God, it can't possibly go up any more than this, because they've made so much money. They're like, okay, I've made enough, and they're getting out. Thank God. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to buy it. Do you think Kamala Harris is up in California? Honestly, it would not surprise me if she wasn't. I mean, I just came from California yesterday. They should do away with welfare, food stamps, and public funded housing before they touch Social Security. That's a tough one. because I can tell you this: people who can't eat um, are very dangerous, and the elderly need to be protected. You seem like a cool guy to hang out with. Yep, actually, I am. I don't drink a lot, but I still go to bars. I save copper pennies. Smart. How about 15-minute cities? I don't like the idea at all. I do not like the idea of 15-minute cities. You know, the 40 your cup and handle. Yes, absolutely. Recording your podcast yesterday. No, actually, I was driving all the way to San Diego and back, a little over 800 miles. Oh, that was a long trip. Is turning red. I'm sure it will turn red pretty soon. It's just, it's just so hard for these people to understand that it's not the Republicans that are doing this to them in California. The Republicans are not in control. It's the Democrats. And when they come up with these crazy ideas, like if you're rich and you decide you don't like their politics and you leave, you're still going to have to pay them part of your wealth after you leave. Yeah, it's they're going to tax you for moving out of the state. That's not a joke. I actually saw that they are really studying that bill right now, and it could actually pass. To fight and damn sure can't run. Well, that's why I'm here, Yankee John, because that's my job. That's our job as the younger generation. My job is to fight for the older generation. You would have done it for me if the roles were reversed. He's probably pretty cool to hang out with. He probably can't stop talking though. Oh, I believe me. After a live stream, I don't say a word for about 2 hours. What am I doing on Halloween? I am going to be walking around with my son, and he is going to be loading up on candy. And then I will probably have to tranquilize him in order to get him to go to bed. Yeah, Dr. Kevorkian's the only option for the working class at retirement age. You know, they just keep raising it too. I mean, they raised it from 65 to 67 in France, and they damn near burned Paris to the ground over it last year. They did it here, and nobody even noticed. Nobody said a word. No protest, nothing. Let's see. If Judge Joe Brown would get more play on Kamala Harris, it would be over for her. Oh, believe me, I saw that today. I saw his. Man, that video was harsh because, you know, I mean, the guy knows what he's talking about. He's not some lunatic MAGA guy. He's a judge. He's a legitimate player in California. He saw everything that happened. And when he lays it out the way he does, it's like, wow, like this is fraudulent shit that got her into office. Oh, I better catch up. Let's see. What if you bankrupt? Can't get blood from a stone. No, but you still would have to pay your student loans. Stop telling the truth. Let's see. What's your thoughts on Big Diddy trial and Music Payola? Well, you know, having come from that city, having grown up there, I knew that all of this hip hop crap was just a bunch of fake bullshit, and it was supposed to be negative, and it was supposed to basically poison an entire generation. And it did. It has. And you know, the lyrics, the attitude, it's basically it's just basically a big death cult of, you know, do drugs, do this, do that, do all these horrible things, you know, and it's all about violence and drugs. It's like, wow, how did this slide by us? Well, you know, there are some who would say that the CIA had a hand in generating all of that. The fact that P. Diddy got his funding from a very old Jewish man who I don't know that he had anything to do with the record industry before he met P. Diddy, but P. Diddy went from chauffeur driver to music mogul overnight. That smells like a CIA plant to me. That smells like an Epstein to me, but just a different class of people. You've got the East Coast snobby rich who know that they're better than everyone else. And then you've got the West Coast sort of, you know, hippie dipshits who some of them are extremely wealthy. Well, let's drag everybody in. You know, I'm just waiting to see. I heard a rumor that Kamala had actually been to a couple of these parties. I'd love to see that. That would end her run right there. Has October surprise written all over it. Exactly. They censored that, by the way. They're going to give us AI generated. I don't know. It may be AI generated. It may be the real thing. Let's see. Banner got out. Oh yeah, Bannon. Bannon got out of prison today. Yep, absolutely. There are photos on the internet of her with Diddy. Well, yeah, but come on. There's a lot of people who saw P. Diddy out in social circles and gave him a hug and said, "Can I take a picture with you?" That really doesn't mean anything. The mayor of New York City handed him the keys to the city last year, gave him the keys to the city. Does that make the mayor of New York, Mayor Adams, an evil P. Diddy party goer? No, it just means that he saw an opportunity to be seen with somebody who was extremely popular among the right social circles and said, hey, come on down. I'll give you an award and we'll have a photo op together. Let's see the videos with her. Well, I mean, obviously there are some that are probably, did he start partying just when Playboy went down? Yeah. That, the thing is that there are some of these photos and some of these videos are suspect. The ones with her and the talk show host guy with her and her girlfriend and him together, that's not faked. That's real. That he bragged about it. She bragged about it. They had a little threesome together, and it was, and basically his attitude was, hey man, yeah, I can do this. I can have two women because I'm cool. It's like, okay, well, yeah, I mean, it's California. It's a very bohemian place. But for her to go from that lifestyle to, hey, I'm a prosecutor and I'm tough and I grew up in a middle-class family and I'm just like you. No, you're not. I was never anybody's mistress. I didn't sell my soul to Willie Brown in order to get political favors. Montel Williams, exactly. I do actually think Trump's going to win. And, I mean, I hope he wins. If it were me, if you said, hey, who's the perfect candidate? I wish we had a Ross Perot. I wish we had a Ron Paul. I wish we had, somebody along those lines that really understood the system and really disliked it intensely. I forget the guy's name. He, Paul something. He died in a plane crash very mysteriously. He was a Democrat from, I want to say, Wisconsin or Minnesota. What the hell was his name? You guys will know this. I'm sure you'll know because Paul Wellstone. Thank you, Paul Wellstone. I'd vote for him. I would have voted for him. I didn't agree with a lot of his politics, but I would have voted for him because I trust the man. I trust that he's going to do the best for the United States. And that's all I care about at this point. That's the only thing I'm worried about right now. Look, we can get into all of that other stuff and we can start to really, really like split hairs over policy differences later. But right now, this isn't about policy differences. This is about the fact that the uniparty and look, when Dick Cheney, when Darth Vader wants the Democrat to win, what does that tell you? What does that tell you? It tells you, I mean, this is a guy who is right up there with Lindsey Graham and that piece of shit from Kentucky. What's his name? God. When he's not glitching, he's the most powerful Republican. Anyway, he's just absolutely a terrible human being. Let's see, Mitch McConnell. Yeah, I mean, think about it. Think about it. What's the difference between Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell? What's the difference? I mean, they're absolutely like, I can't even imagine like who the fuck votes for these people. Think about it. The devil doesn't like to lose. You got censored for that, Renee. I read it anyway. The dress size. One stands up, one sits down. Yeah. Nancy Pelosi has class. Well, she certainly got brass balls, because when she was asked about no longer being able to trade, if senators and congressmen would have to follow the same rules as us, she said, no, it's a free country. It's a free system. It's capitalism. No, it's not capitalism. HW. So I voted for Ross Perot, and we got Hillary. Yeah, I know. The truth hurts. Thank you, by the way, for all the likes. I really appreciate that. That is awesome. That helps a lot. It makes it so that a lot more new people can see everything. Nancy was born rich. I think she came from a fairly well-to-do family, but she's made $150 million since getting to the Hill. Mitch was able to get our guys on the Supreme Court. I don't forgive him anyway. He's an absolute piece of shit, and I think he's probably, in my opinion, a seditionist. His wife was in charge of the Department of Transportation, and her family owns the largest shipping company in communist China. What the fuck did I just say? Yeah, everybody knows that. It's not even like a secret. How did a woman whose entire family owns the largest shipping company in communist China become our Secretary of Transportation? And why did she marry him? Well, obviously it's not love. Nobody marries anybody for love in Washington, D.C. It's all about power. So, I mean, what are these people? They're the worst. They are the worst human beings in this country. And yet somehow they climb to these enormous places of power. And it's just stupidity. Like, who voted for Mitch McConnell? Who voted for Lindsey Graham? Lindsey Graham is a demon. He's literally the devil. Oh, by the way, Donovan, you got censored for that one. Keep tapping, hit that follow button. Let's hit 100K. You guys rock. There, I read it for you. Everybody wants our farmland and our fresh water. That's a fact. Corruption. Yep, absolutely. Look, we gotta do something about it. And the problem is you've got two people. One, I have a healthy mistrust for. The other one, I absolutely cannot imagine has the capacity to run this country anywhere except straight into the ground. What are my choices? Let's see. I think silver will hit 45 by April before resetting to 37 and then going above 50. I don't see a reset like that. That's a big reset. I see it going quite a bit higher than 45 too. What about VP Pence selling out on January 6th? He wasn't selling out. He was covering his own ass. That's what politicians do. That's all they do. That's all they care about. That's the only thing that matters to most of them. Like, they really have absolutely zero interest in anything else. Let's see here. What in the world? How did somebody just pop up here? That's weird.
Oh, you just sent me an invite.
Oh, sorry about that. I totally screwed that up. I'm trying to tap a very tiny screen. Thanks for jumping on there, though. Oh, shit. I screwed that up. You know what? Two sources we got in America. Wait, did I read that wrong? No, I read that right. Let's see. I hear Gates is under some kind of investigation. Listen, when you're a billionaire, you're always under investigation. I just think there might be fire where there's smoke. Yes, I think it's going to go quite a bit higher. Absolutely. 68,000 likes. Thank you, guys. That is awesome. The algorithms will actually give me a second 18,000 for a year. That was totally FBI. I agree. I absolutely agree. The question is, what exactly is the purpose of the FBI? The Federal Bureau of Investigation. I mean, what's the purpose of it? Does it say somewhere in the Constitution that we should have a federal police enforcement agency? No, it doesn't say that anywhere. Keep your head on a swivel. Absolutely. Well, I mean, come on, man. In this world, you got to keep your head on a swivel all the time anyway. That's just the only way to survive. Let's see. Total overreach. Absolutely. Vote Kamala. That's funny. I like your sense of humor, Eric. FBI is total shit. FBI strictly for lawfare. Nowadays it is. Absolutely. There's no question in my mind. I mean, what else have they done other than set up idiots to look like domestic terrorists? I mean, they find a bunch of dumbass, redneck, beer drinking biker dummies who don't even have jobs, who can't afford to buy the materials they need for a terrorist attack or a kidnapping, and then they supply it to them? Wait, entrapment much? What is that? They investigate the complete Biden administration. What? I don't think so. Do you think they will send Trump to jail? If he loses, absolutely. We get 2.3% COLA on Social Security. Huh. I like COLA. I mean, I like Sprite too, but I'm not really sure. I think your spell checker kind of screwed you on that one. Sorry about that. Oh, let me check my live stream. Look at that. 3 people on YouTube. Love that. Cost of living adjustment. Oh, 3%, huh? Well, it's a good thing that we don't have 10% inflation, or that simply wouldn't keep up, would it? Linda, you said cost of living. Guess what? They censored you for saying that. Linda, you bad girl. I knew there was a reason I liked you. Early voted. All right, beautiful. Cost of living adjustment. Yeah, I know. They censored her for saying the same thing 3 other people said. How do they, like, what parameters are they using here? What do you mean by censored? They put a little I with a line through it that shows that nobody else can see that comment. You'll just see a space. I'll actually see the comment, but it won't be highlighted like all the rest in white. It'll just be dark, and I'll have to look at it to see what it says. I've got to watch out for the Chinese speech police. Yeah, you better. Where's my money? I'm 66. Keep working. That's it. Let's see. Pepsi is poison anyway. Oh yeah, the Pepsi plant closing down today. That was a good one. Nobody even saw that coming, but yeah, I mean, that's just the way it's going to be. Look, we've got thousands and thousands more companies that are going to do that. We are on TikTok from the Chinese, and then kick them out. Yeah, I don't think the Chinese control TikTok anymore. I think it's the Texas Project. It was handed over to the Texas Project, lock, stock, and barrel. Pepsi went bankrupt. Well, not all of it, but apparently that one plant, they made some excuse. Oh, it was kind of an older plant anyway. They didn't tell anybody. They just showed up to work today and they didn't have a job. What about Dodge? Chrysler Plymouth Dodge is bye-bye. Stellantis. Yeah, Stellantis bought out Jeep and Chrysler and Plymouth and Dodge and then fucked it up so bad. They stopped making Dodge 1500 Ram trucks, the basic work truck. The reasoning in their boardroom was that if they stopped making the $30,000 work truck, people would have to go up a notch and buy the $85,000 TRX. What? Yeah. So, and then of course there's the Jeep Grand Wagoneer, which used to be a healthy little utility vehicle, and now it's a $120,000 boondoggle that nobody can afford. Okay, well, looks like you guys screwed that up. So, thank you, Stellantis. Yeah, I mean, the transmission, they shift pretty hard. I noticed that. I drove a new one, and they shift pretty hard. And the brakes wear out pretty quick, too. But that's because the brakes are literally like the brakes on a Ferrari. I mean, they're stop, which is kind of a cool feeling. They're sending people into companies to purposely sabotage them. I wouldn't know anything about that. 2017, good year. I mean, these are good work trucks. And then all of a sudden, they decided that, hey, look, we don't want to make cheap trucks. We want to make expensive trucks. Okay, well, we're going into a recession, folks. You can't make expensive trucks. So, let's see. What was I going to look up? We need ZPE. A Tundra. I had a Tundra for a while. Made my neck hurt because I sit like this in order to see underneath the fucking roof. Wow, 80,000. That's crazy. That's amazing. I'm sure that's the highest I've ever gotten as far as likes. There's no question that that's the highest. What was I going to look at? Oh, Stellantis. I want to find out. Stellantis. I want to find out where are these guys? Oh, they own Peugeot, Citroën, Opel. Oh, I see the problem. Oh, their headquarters is in the Netherlands. Oh, their their CMO, Chief Meathead Officer. Let's see. Oliver Francois decided to come to the United States and tell us how we should buy trucks. Huh. I wonder why that didn't work out. Let's see. They have Abarth, Alfa Romeo, Chrysler, Citroen, Dodge, DS, Fiat, Jeep, Lancia, Maserati. That's the problem. Opel, Peugeot, Ram trucks, and Vauxhall. So basically, a bunch of fucking Europeans decided they were going to buy the most American company there is, Dodge, that makes supercharged iron block V8s that put out 810 horsepower in a 4,000-pound muscle car. And they were going to just show us how to move into the next century, become evolved like Europeans. See how that worked for you, Stellantis? Go eat your fucking goat cheese, dummies. There's certain things you just got to keep your hands off. One of them is my supercharged Dodges. Exactly. 96 Cummins. It sounded like somebody throwing a fucking box full of wrenches down a stairwell. But you know what? They run forever. 72 Super B. Not in this lifetime, brother. Those are not cheap anymore. We had a Hellcat. Oh, you had fun in that. Look, a Hellcat is American because anything worth doing is worth overdoing. That is the United States of America. It's our policy. It's our motto. It's the ethos in which we live. And you know what? Fuck the rest of the world if they don't get it. We are crazy, and that's okay. We have been crazy since the beginning. We decided that we'd let a bunch of dumb rednecks called citizens decide how the government runs. What? Who does that? We did. Go big or go home. That's right. That's exactly what the United States is all about. We used to only worry about the threats from the outside. And then the Democrats took over, and now it's all about the threats inside. Domestic terrorists, people who don't want you to have a sex change operation, people who don't like this person, or people who make fun of that person, people who do this wrong and people who do that wrong. They're so focused on the negativity within our own society that they don't give a shit about what goes on outside. Look at what's happening in the world. The world is a total dumpster fire, and they don't give a shit. Doesn't matter to them. Oh, yeah. 72 Demon Duster. Oh, look at that. Freedom, you got censored. I'm going to read it anyway. Dems are angry people. They're angry and frustrated. 20 years ago, a guy planned to bring American motors back. That didn't work. Had 268 GTXs. Oh, Super B, RT. Wow, you had a hell of a Mopar collection. You must be very wealthy, because when people say, oh, yeah, Mopar, it's like the American Ferrari. Yeah, it is. It's a goddamn nightmare for costs. I know. I've had some pretty badass Mopars. And, yeah, no more Mopars unless I can put a LS in them. Give me a Chevy drivetrain, I'll take a Mopar all day long. But a 720-pound 440 that makes 385 horsepower? What? Really? GTOs? Yep. Unfortunately, and I hate to break this to you guys. Yeah, everybody's Jeep Wrangler gets a death rattle, baby. That's what makes them fun. Take it out on that freeway. You go 75 miles an hour, 80 miles an hour. You don't know if you're going to make it to wherever you're going. You're either getting there or you're getting to heaven. Let's see. Must be frozen. Me? Am I frozen? I'm not frozen. 90. Whoa. Thank you very much. I got a 2003 AMG. I'm really sorry to hear that, Chuck. If you're talking about a Mercedes, you are literally bought the worst vehicle for as far as consumer satisfaction. They are the worst in the world, other than, wait for it, Chrysler. Yeah, a 69 El Camino. El Camino, the street. That's what it means in Spanish. El Camino, or the way. Fully, I'd say, drove it to work. You must have worked 3 blocks from your house, or you would have spent $100 a day on it. A Yugo. Did you know that Yugo is actually a Yugoslavian word? It means birth control. AMG H2 Hummer. Oh my God. 6 miles per gallon. By the way, Chevy would never print that number. They never printed it anywhere because if it weighs over 6,500 pounds, it's a commercial vehicle and they don't have to print the gas mileage. So they didn't. But it literally gets 6.5 miles per gallon. Yeah, I mean, I don't like Hummers because I can't fit in them. I can't fit in an H1 or an H2. They're extremely tight. You had a boyfriend that let me drive his El Camino when you were 16. Sounds like he liked you. Let's see. I have a 2016 Dodge Caravan, still 300,000 miles and still going. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Don't put your hand on the armrest or it'll come off in your hand. And don't flip down the rear view mirror. It'll come off in your hand. And don't touch the rear view mirror. It'll break off in your hand. And be very careful handling the steering wheel or the airbag might go off in your face. However, it'll go forever. In Europe, so a full-size pickup of both made no sense. Not sure what that means. Oh, Lee got censored. Lee, you got censored. I'm going to read it anyway. Do you ever grab the handle on her home and handle come right off of the door? Oh, me? Oh, the shit handle? I've ripped lots of those off on cars. And my friends always do the same thing. Oh, you fucking ape. Why? Stop. Don't touch my car. Yeah. I leaned on a buddy's car once and put a huge dent in his hood, and he was so pissed. I just leaned on it. I was losing my balance. I leaned back, I put my hand on it, and put a big, what do you do? Vauxhall was owned by Chevy since 1925. Does that make me like them? I still don't like them. Let's see. I had a 2000 F-150 stick shift, 750,000 miles. That doesn't surprise me. Caddies are nice. The newer Caddies are really impressive. Really cool cars. The fit and finish is really well done. I'm impressed. I had 210,000 miles on my F-150. Never had an issue. Didn't have the heads off. Never touched anything. I think it just changed a water pump once or something, and it took me, an hour. My own tools in the driveway. It was easy, But my dad had a Chevy pickup, a 79 step side, and we got 385,000 miles out of that sucker. Everybody be careful with Halloween, kids and candy. The only actual reports of anyone ever poisoning kids or putting razor blades in the candy or anything were actually family members that did it to their own kids and then tried to blame strangers. But I'm not aware of anyone who's ever poisoned candy for kids. So don't be careful. Don't worry. Just make sure they're in sight and make sure that no migrants get a hold of them and put them on a barbecue. That's all. I had a 76 Barrett Eldorado cattle. What? A Barrett. Barrett. I don't know. Stellaris. No need to make two different. Oh, Stellaris. Stellantis. Okay. I don't even know what that means. I didn't know that there were two different kinds of pickup trucks. What is your favorite car of all time or truck? It's going to have to be a 65 or 66 Shelby Cobra. Definitely. I can't fit in one, but I can't drive one, sadly. They make replicas now that are stretched a little bit. And, they're bargains. They're only about $100,000, $115,000, but I will get one next. I've had a 64 GTO with a tri-power and a 4-speed. It was awesome. At the time, I didn't realize how bitchin' it was going to be when I got older, so I drove the shit out of it. I sold it for more than I bought it for, but yeah, I did not take care of it. I beat the hell out of that car. I almost died in it a couple times too. That was back when I thought a 64 GTO actually really handled well. It's better to buy a truck that was at Vauxhall doesn't make a pickup truck. They just don't understand the market in the U.S. Well, that's a fact. That's the thing is I get it, but look, we're still the richest fucking people in the world. So if you're going to make something, make sure you do your homework for us. A leased vehicle. Yeah. As long as you make sure that you bought a leased vehicle that was maybe fleet, a fleet vehicle where, they had dedicated mechanics who could actually do the oil changes, do all the stuff. Donovan, they censored you again, baby. 98,000. No shit. Oh my God. That's crazy. Thank you. Keep tapping, everyone. Hit that button. Let's hit 100K. Donovan, I don't know who you are, man, but I really appreciate it. That's definitely, I'm going to have to take a screenshot of that because that is the highest I've ever gone. 72 Honda Coupe. I'll bet you wish you owned that now. I know I wish I had mine. I had a 72 Honda. Little Civic CVCC. That's what it said on the side. It was a little 4-cylinder front wheel drive thing. It was ugly. It was so ugly, but man, it ran forever. Never stopped running. Okay. I gotta take a little screenshot. I think I hit a screenshot by doing this. Let's see. Boom, like that. And does it take a picture? Yes, it took a picture. Okay, cool. Let's see. Do I have any particular strategy? Oh, I got to go back to that. Let's see. So sorry. Do you see in particular strategy as your bread and butter? Yeah. Always keep moving. Never, ever, ever slow down, man. You gotta keep looking at new businesses. Never relax. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. You have to constantly be looking for a new business. If you find a business that works, that looks like it has a long-term outlook, I'll give you an example. Let's just say that you got lucky. Donovan got censored. It says "Go Trump." I read it anyway. Let's say you can get your hands on a dump truck. You get a smoking deal on a dump truck, and the guy says, "Look, I'm old. I just want to get out of the business." And you say, "Okay, I'll buy your garbage truck for, 30 grand instead of 250 for a new one." And then you go out and you start getting contracts. Could you make $100,000 on that truck every year? Absolutely. Could you then leverage that success into buying 3 or 4 more? Absolutely. Are you the type of person that's willing to do that? Because you're going to have to work a lot for the first several years. I absolutely recommend swing trading for anybody who's got a little bit of extra time, who doesn't mind being on the opposite side of what everybody else talks about. That's the only thing. You're not going to be invited to parties much anymore because you're going to be the contrarian. That's the way swing traders make money. We talk about things that nobody else wants to hear. Literally, I realized I was doing it today at a bank, and I was talking to the teller, and we were talking about what's going on with the economy. And I looked over, and this other teller was sitting there, and she goes, "Wow, this is heavy. I'm going to take a break." And she got up and walked away, and I thought, "Oh, shit, oops." Well, I meant garbage truck. Yeah, not a dump truck. I mean, yeah, you can absolutely make money on a dump truck. You can make money on a water truck. You know, the thing is, I got a buddy who he got in trouble with the government, and federal felony for tax evasion, and you know, it really was a misunderstanding. But they were pissed off at him. Basically, what he did was he told a federal prosecutor with the IRS. He said, you know, go fuck yourself. I know I didn't do anything wrong. And they said, yeah, you don't talk to us like that. You're going to jail. And he said, why? My CPA did those numbers. And they said, okay, well, then bring your CPA in here. And he said, my CPA died the beginning of this year from brain cancer. You know that. And they said, well, then tough shit. And they locked him up for 18 months. Now, locking up a guy for tax evasion for 18 months meant he went and cleaned the runway at Nellis Air Force Base outside of, I believe it was Las Vegas. He's walked up and down the runway picking up rocks, and the rest of the day he just sort of did nothing, you know, and it wasn't a high security situation. But my point is that, you know, he couldn't do what he did before that anymore. And, you know, nobody wanted to hire him. So he said, well, fuck it. I'll find something. What he does now is he goes and he pulls weeds and cleans up the weeds and the garbage at weigh stations, the government weigh stations in California. Now he's only got, I don't know, maybe a dozen of them, but the dozen that he does do, he works his ass off, just works nonstop for about 20 days a month. And then the other 10 days, he's off. But doing that, he makes quite a bit of money. He doesn't want to tell me. That's none of my business. I've never asked him, you know, give me a specific number, but I get the impression it's well north of $100,000. Now, he works from sun up to sundown, and he sleeps in his car. He does a rest stop. He goes to the next rest stop. He parks there. He sleeps in his car or his truck. Gets up the next morning, breaks out his tools, does the next one, does this over and over again. It's extremely hard work. But the reality is he makes very, very good money. One government contract. And they're very happy with him. They're never going to get rid of him. He'll do this until he's 80 years old if he wants to. Willie Nelson owed 16 million in 1990, but settled for giving them 7 million. Well, you got censored for that, Renee, but I read it anyway. So, yeah, well, that's less than half, but wow, 16 million. That's not a minor miscalculation, is it? That's a pretty big chunk. Now, if he owed them $1 million and then the rest were taxes and fines and fees and penalties, yeah, I could see that racking up real fast. They love to do that. You know, if it's one of those things where, hey, you're a day late, well, if you're a day late or a dollar short, it's like, oh, well, you know, you owed us 180,000, but now it's 344,000. It's like, what, how? Oh, penalties and fees. And interest. Wait, you can charge me interest on taxes? Oh, yeah, we certainly do. But wait, how do you're not a bank. Doesn't matter. Oh, okay. So you know the real deal. Yeah, he smoked the rest. You know what though? Hey man, he can do whatever he wants. You know, he's been around forever, and you know, just because he was at a Kamala Harris rally last week, I could care less. The bottom line is, he actually went to the Kamala Harris rally, and people booed because they thought they were going to get Beyonce. Apparently, well, I know she wasn't at a Diddy party. Elon paid $3 billion in taxes. Yeah, he sure did. I'll bet he did. Risk for gain. Yeah, I see. That's the thing, is that corporations play this game all the time, but they don't get hit with the same penalties we do. You know, it's for them, it's a sport. For us, it's life or death. You know, guys come and they point guns in your face and they'll lock you in a concrete box for the rest of your life if you fuck around with their money. Because you know as well as I do that the first 4 months that you work in this country, you don't work for yourself. You work to pay them. That's why April 15th has such a bitter irony to me, because everything that you make before April 14th goes to taxes. Everything you make after that, you get to keep. So a third of the year, you're not working for yourself. You're not working for your family or your loved ones. You're working for BlackRock. If I only get 70 or 80 once a month, interest on my money in the bank. Oh, yeah. You bet your ass you got to pay interest on that. Unless your income is so low, you're not paying taxes anyway. Let's see. Did you see the interview? It was talking about getting rid of income tax. Yes, I did. I think it's a fantastic idea. Hey, our favorite Frenchie's on here with us. And by the way, I don't talk shit about the French. And the reason I don't is because, number one, they're not afraid to throw a fucking brick when their government does something stupid. And number two, not just the Statue of Liberty. That was a nice present. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. If we haven't sent you a card saying thank you, we will at some point. It's the 22 tons of gold that France gave us at the end of the Revolutionary War, plus the blockade of ships that gave us the United States of America. And without that help, oh, yeah, we'd still be bowing to the Queen. I'm on Social Security. That sucks, man. I hate to hear that. I really do. I would say get on YouTube and start looking up ways to make a little extra, a little side hustle. Believe it or not, there are things that you can do that really aren't hard. Some of them you might actually find entertaining. Really, that's the truth. Let's see. What do people have a gut feeling? Will it be a landslide? It looks like it. Get rid of printing press for dollars. Yes, you got censored for that, John. I read it. Too big to rig? Potentially. This is the first time in 30 years that a Republican has actually had a tie for the popular vote. And at this point in the race with Clinton, he was behind by 6 points, 6.1 points in the popular vote, and he still won. So the fact that it's literally 1 point advantage for Kamala, which is well within the margin of error, he could actually be winning at this point the popular vote. I think given another week of her absolutely tepid, frost-bitten interviews and just the absolute shit show that her campaign is turning into, that could increase to a 2 or 3 point popular vote advantage, which would basically guarantee him the White House. Good night, guys. For those of you who can't stay up past, midnight. What time is it? Oh, yeah. It's getting late. All my American friends are worried they will try something. Yes. Trump has already lost. Oh, I wasn't aware of that. JH says that Trump has already lost. Oh, I guess all those polls are wrong. You can't trust the polls. Remember the 2016 polls. 9 p.m. in Seattle. Oh, good point. MAGA is, Mega's done. Mega is done. Let's see. 12 here in Michigan. Yeah, exactly. I'm still voting for him. Yeah, you and probably 85 million other people. You're not reading all the polls. No, I'm just reading the ones that are credible. Trump is killing it. You got censored for that, Jeff, but I read it anyway. No, I'm not reading the dishonest ones. Never heard of Mega. It's big. It's huge. Do you think Hurricane Patty will form? Yes. The reason I say that is because it's a very, very active year for the sun, and the sun does play an enormous role in hurricane formation. Trump has it. The Dems and Libs just need to get over themselves. Well, we'll see if they do or not. I also heard Republicans are voting early for the first time. Yes, in massive droves. In places like Nevada, where Trump is crushing it. Come November 5th, get ready for Madam President. I doubt that very seriously. Great parade in Osaka, Japan for Trump. That doesn't surprise me. I love it. Red is winning, no doubt. Pennsylvania resident, and I'm telling you, Trump wins here. That doesn't surprise me either. Look, you can't lie to people in Pennsylvania and expect them not to remember that you said something completely opposite. I am absolutely against fracking. I'm not saying I won't frack. Okay, you're not saying it, or you don't believe it. No, I'm not. No, because there's more to be done. And by the way, if you guys understood, wait, if Kamala gets in, how will she handle North Korea going to Russia? She won't. She'll completely ignore it. By the way, you got censored for that. Cracking bad for rivers and streams. Yeah, cracking's bad for rivers and streams. Actually, fracking is extremely bad, and I wish we would outlaw it. And that's not because I'm a Democrat. It's because I'm smart. Fracking sucks. And I understand the people of Pennsylvania need fracking for their infrastructure, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, you guys better not drink your own fucking water if you frack too much more. That's just a fact. Fracking is extremely, extremely bad. Unburdened by what has been. For those of you who don't know, I'm going to pull up her famous comment. And I think that once you understand what she's saying, because everybody laughs at that, right? Need it for everyone and won't even brush my teeth with city water. That is a fact. Do you get paid by the tap? No, that would be awesome. That would be so cool if I did. No, it's the TikTok really doesn't pay. But the more followers I have, the more people I can reach about silver. And that's how I actually make the money. I do the live streams for free just because, hey, a lot of people don't know this stuff. Like, I'll tell you what, people don't understand what she's saying when she says, unburdened by what has been. I'm going to explain this. Okay. The saying is, what can be unburdened by what has been? You guys don't probably understand what that means, but Pol Pot used very, very similar terminology in Cambodia. The past, being unburdened by the past, means getting rid of the past. And how do you get rid of the past? By getting rid of the people who will remember the past. That's why people in Cambodia in the 70s literally took off their glasses and threw them in rice paddies. Why would you do that? Why would you throw away glasses? Especially if you have bad eyesight and you need them to see. Because glasses became one of the symbols of the wealthy intellectual people who were targeted for extermination by the Khmer Rouge. And if you wore glasses, it meant that you were one of the intelligentsia. You were one of the educated people who needed to be dealt with, because you have to see what can be unburdened by what has been. People don't realize what she's saying. They think it's a funny, stupid saying. And I did too, until I researched it a little bit. It's a very, very Marxist saying. And what it means is we have to get rid of the past, unburden ourselves from our past. What is our past in this country? Freedom of speech, Second Amendment rights, the right to hear all of the allegations against us if we're locked up. Well, that's our past. So to see what can be unburdened by the past is a terrifying statement. And she makes it all the time, doesn't she? Okay, you call it ridiculous. But the reality is, that's exactly what the statement means. Yeah, the reality is, you know, AOC AOC ends her speeches by saying, "We have a world to win." That is a direct quote from Karl Marx. "We have a world to go win," is a direct quote from Karl Marx. That to me was fucking hilarious the first time she said it. We are in the looting phase of capitalism. We are not in any phase of capitalism. You know that. Come on, St. Mark. You know that this is not true capitalism. This is capitalism and bootstrap toughness for the plebes, for the lower class. And it is absolutely corporate socialism for the wealthy. We are truly in an oligarchy now. As a matter of fact, in 2008, Bank of America's private banking put out a 100-page document talking about the fact that from this point forward, we have really no problems getting done all of the things that we want to do. Now, remember, private banking is $10 million in deposits or more. That's right. Now, corporate socialism and basically what Bank of America said in this document, which got released, it was only they only had 100 private banking members that were given this document, and apparently one of them, and I believe it was God, was it a Rockefeller? It was one of the sons of one of the private banking members who got this memorandum that made it public. He saw it, he read it, and then he stole it from his father and made it public. And my God, when I saw it, I was like, it said, look, we have nothing to worry about. We now officially in the United States are an oligarchy. The only thing that we ever have to concern ourselves with from this point forward is the fact that the common person gets to vote for now. And I thought, for now, what does that mean? And then I saw the president, the CEO of Diebold, and I know the president. I know the company. I owned ATM machines. Diebold makes ATMs, among other things. And he was drunk. He was in a backyard party at a rich guy's house in, I believe it was Ohio. And somebody said, "Hey, is Bush getting elected?" And he was drunk and he held up a big cup of beer and he said, "Oh, let me tell you something, brother. I'm the head of the Republican Party in this state, and I also am the CEO of Diebold, who makes the voting machines." He held up his beer and he goes, "I guarantee you he's getting elected." He turns around and walks away. And I saw that video years ago and I went, holy shit. The guy who makes the voting machines said off the cuff, drunk, "Yeah, I guarantee you he's getting elected." It's like when Nancy Pelosi said last week, "I guarantee you that man will never set foot in the White House again." Oh, you guarantee it? You look at the polls just like I do. You didn't say, "I hope." Our plan is to never let, no, you said, "I guarantee you he will never set foot in the White House." How can Nancy Pelosi guarantee that to me? How can she make a personal guarantee to me? She knows something that I don't know. That's how. What does she know? Did a documentary on Diebold Safe Company. Well, I hope their safes are better than their fucking ATMs. Those things were a nightmare. I went to their school. Whew, man, those things were hard to work on. Let's see. How about drills today at the White House for evacuation procedures? That's a little scary. I took her at her word. Yeah, you should. She doesn't know shit. She knows everything. Don't kid yourself. That woman knows everything that's going on. They will probably try to, yeah, there's no question about that. Figure of speech wise guy, no, it wasn't. The agencies work for the elites. Absolutely. The elections are fixed. I hope not, but probably. Trump's not getting elected. Well, I mean, that remains to be seen. He's winning the popular vote, or he's at least in a tie for Kamala Harris. He was down by 6.1 points to to Clinton at this exact same time, and he whooped her ass. So we don't know. I mean, he may win the election and lose the presidency. The machines are rigged. They've been shown over and over and over again. You can go back and look at the Senate subcommittees who have kids come in that are 18 years old and say, okay, can you change the vote in that machine? Yep. They hack in, yep, I just changed the totals. Wow. So you can change the totals in the machine. Oh, I changed the totals in the entire region. Watch. Done. And you're watching it on the screen, and the Congress people are like, how did you do that so fast? It's easy. Well, did we change the system? No. I'm feeling Harris as vice president won't certify, just a feeling. We vote for freedom or communism. That's pretty much what it looks like. 105,000. I'm going to take another screenshot of that. Look, we know 2020 was rigged. I believe that now. I didn't believe it at the time. I thought he was just being a big whiny bitching baby. But now that I've seen more, and I've seen all of the, oh, we found X amount of votes. Oh, we found this. Oh, we didn't certify that in time. It's just all over the place. And it's like, okay, wait. So what really happened? Well, what do you do about it, Freedom? Like you say, why doesn't somebody do something about it? Like what? What are what are you suggesting, that we vote? That's kind of the whole point of what we're talking about. The votes don't count. So you're going to vote? Are you going to threaten the government? Domestic terrorism? Really? Is that an option? Because you're not talking about freedom. I mean, look, go and protest. See what happens. Yeah, that's the problem. How will Harris installation as president affect Israel? It won't. It won't affect Israel at all. They'll keep getting whatever they want. They'll be allowed to do whatever they want. Nobody's going to stop Israel. Have you heard of AIPAC? Yeah, of course you have. Every single member of Congress, except for one, has their own personal AIPAC babysitter. Why isn't that a foreign lobby? They're lobbying on behalf of Israel. But it's not a foreign lobby? No. Why? Just because it's not. I suspect he might have. I'm not sure if he won. I mean, nobody. Wait, in 2016? Yeah, in 2016, yes. Every one of them. Yeah. Coincidentally, DHS is doing a grid down exercise nationally on November 5th. That would be a very bad time. That's very bad timing on their part. I hope that's just a rumor and not true. With your random theories. No, I don't have random theories. I mean, I throw most of the theories I hear out. Charlie Wilson's War. The movie was interesting, but the true story behind it was interestinger, if there is such a thing. Did you hear the judges were paid by Walmart to put Prop 1? No, never heard that. I hope to fucking Christ that's not true, because that's like, judges, please, that's really. Oh, look at this. Your live is flagged for civic and election integrity. See, I'm not allowed to talk about this. 108 likes. All right, guys, I got to call it a night because I have my son this week, and I'm going to go tuck him in and sing him a song and maybe read a book to him and listen to all of his adventures of the day. We always have a good talk about what kind of adventures he had at school. So tomorrow night, though, I will be here. Why is Maduro president? Because he was elected and we tried to overthrow him and it didn't work. Apparently, the press didn't tell us everything that was going on down there because for some reason, a lot of people wanted to keep him there. And now he's pissed off at us. Uh-oh, look, I just got another violation warning. I better get off here before I get censored. I'll see you guys later. They're censoring me. God, I can't believe how much they censor me. Woo! I'm going to end it, guys. Take it easy.